Today at Manchester Theatres, I am here with Tom Lowe, who is a singer, actor, presenter, and composer. And he has done so many different things. We are talking touring with Take That, being in the band North and South. He has performed in Les Mis and Cats, and he originated the role of Billy in Boy George's Workshop of Taboo. He then went on to be educated at Harvard University in America, where he got so many accolades. I mean, we're talking the first non-American to perform the national anthem at a Boston Red Sox game, performing in Les Mis at the Hollywood Bowl, presenting a reality TV show, Real Life the Musical, which was on the Oprah Winfrey Network. And despite all of these amazing things, we're not letting America have him because he was born right here in Manchester, Greater Manchester, in Stockport. One of ours. We are so thrilled and proud of everything that you've done, including your recent nomination for an Offie for Best Supporting Performance in a Musical for your role of King Triton in Ursula, the Untold Story of Ursula the Sea Witch, which, as luck would have it, is coming right to us at the Lowry in Salford from the 22nd of February. So thank you so much for joining us, Tom. We really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. What an introduction.
Well, it's amazing. Honestly, it's so amazing the different things you've done. There's so much that I want to talk about. But first of all, if we start by just introducing the show, Unfortunate. So can you tell everyone kind of the concept of it and what it's about?
Yes, absolutely. Unfortunate is a musical parody. So it takes the story of the Little Mermaid and it retells it through the lens of Ursula the Sea Witch, who is known as the villain of the story. And in our version, it's this irreverent, a little bit rude, actually vulgar, I should say, campy, colourful, fun musical, which paints her as a more well-rounded and sympathetic character.
Yeah, she definitely is. She definitely, you feel it. And there's quite a few good themes that come out of it as well, about loving yourself and being proud of yourself as well, isn't there? No matter who you are.
Yeah, lots of themes are explored, such as consent and being body positive. Lots of queer themes, and it's really fun singing and dancing and wearing glitter and strutting around Cuban heels.
Exactly. And of course, you play, as we've mentioned, King Triton. So again, he's not the kind of character that you would necessarily expect from the Disney film. So tell us a little bit more about Triton.
Yeah, again, Triton is a much more well-rounded character. So we first meet him as a teenager with the teenage version of Ursula as well. And unlike the live-action version of The Little Mermaid, they're not siblings, they're lovers. Mm-hmm. They have this rivalry growing up as children in the same classroom, and then they fall in love. But as we know, Ursula is banished to the dark waters. She's framed for the murder of Triton's first cousin, Kirsty, the Sea Cucumber Princess. And so 20 years pass, and Triton still believes that, she's guilty of this horrible crime. So the story unfolds, and then he has this moment of revelation where he's paid a visit by the spirit of Kirsty, the Sea Cucumber Princess. And I shouldn't tell you too much. I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, he has this this lovely big song where he realizes that he's been torn between trying to reconcile his love for Ursula, but also the hatred of what he believes she's done. And it's a really fun story arc to play.
Yeah, honestly, I saw it a couple of years ago. It's just brilliant. It's so different to anything else. And of course, you're performing there. I mean, what a cast you've got. I mean, you've got obviously yourself. We've said everything that you've done. And we've got Shawna from Orange is the New Black. We've got River Medway, one of RuPaul's girls. I mean, when this cast came together, were you just kind of like, yeah, this is right? This for the type of show it is, it works. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it was very exciting when they announced the cast, and also just reading the script for the first time. I had a feeling from the auditions and being presented with snapshots of the material that it was going to be a really strong piece. But then reading the whole script, I was just laughing out loud on every page. It was just so clever and so brilliant and funny and just right up my alley. Daft and rude and just not holding back at all. It's great. Lots of sort of shock factor, but just kind of fearless writing. Yeah.
It is, and it's like nothing's off the table, but at the same time, he never oversteps any kind of mark to be too insulting or rude or offensive. It's just like, it's so clever. It's very, very clever. It really is. So yeah, we kind of need to point out then that it does come with a 16 plus guidance. Disney, it is not. Have you ever had any parents kind of thinking, oh, it'll be fine, and bringing along younger children anyway? Or are you prepared if that happens?
Yeah, we have had occasionally. We've had youngsters here in the audience, and normally they don't last beyond the first act. Realize, okay, we made a mistake. We need to leave. And the funny thing is that the things that children have screamed at aren't the places where you might expect. There's a part where I start yelling at my daughter Ariel, and it wasn't anything rude, but I think this poor child was just sitting too close, and I get quite aggressive, and I start kind of barreling towards the edge of the stage, and it made this poor girl just scream. Terrible. But yeah, so it's yeah, we definitely suggest don't bring the younger kids.
No.
Depends on it's the parents' discretion. I feel if you think your child's mature and 14, okay, not.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, definitely not. Definitely not. I mean, even in some of the songs, I mean, the titles of the songs alone, just check, anyone who's wondering, just check the title of some of the songs, but they're so clever. Like, and the parodies and the jibes and everything that they get in there. Like, instead of kiss the girl, you've mentioned about a theme of consent. It's ask consent before you kiss the girl, and it's so clever and it's so catchy. I think one of my favorites is unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I love that one. Do you have any favorites to either perform or listen to within the show?
Yeah, I love the writing for my character. Actually, it's very lyrical, and he's very much the kind of rock of the story in the sense that I have to play everything very sincerely, and I'm not sort of swept up in the cartoonish elements at all. I'm much more. I've been directed to play him quite seriously, and so I've got all of this camp stuff happening around. But the writing that I've been given is quite melodic, and yeah, it's got all these different genres too. So I sing this duet which is 80s rock and is quite fun and sort of goes back to my boy band days and singing pop music, and then my big solo in the second act is more like Jean Valjean in Les Mis. So it's really beautiful writing, and again, that there's the music of it, but also the lyrics, where I get to play this character that has a lot of yearnings, and he's been forced into the role of being a king, but he had all of these aspirations to be an artist and a painter and a cook and a musician and a poet, and so he's quite an interesting character to play.
He really, really is. They all are. It's just, it's so beautifully written. And I saw it, I think it was a couple of years ago, and I think it was quite soon after its success from the Edinburgh Fringe. So I'm curious to see if it's changed at all, if it's had any rewrites or anything. So I've got a couple of questions. Are there still puppets in it?
There are,
There are
yes.
still puppets. And are they, is there anything without ruining it, that you can tell us? Because what I do remember is they were all very different in the way that they were used. There was lots of different styles of puppetry.
Yeah, we have hand puppets, which are like socks with eyes on them, really, but with all these interesting kind of UV chiffony things happening, hanging off them, and those are the souls in Ursula's cave in the dark waters. And then you have puppets that the actors have to use both hands to manipulate, and they have mouths and big. They're huge. They're the big structures of puppets, and then you have other puppets which are similar to what you might imagine the Muppets are. So you have a baby Ursula and a baby Triton, and those look a bit more like Avenue Q sort of puppets. So yeah, loads of different styles of puppets.
Yeah, I remember that. And I was just like, whoa, again, it was just, you're saying we're going to do puppets, but we're not just going to do puppets. We're going to keep surprising you. It's just full of surprises. And the other thing was there was the cast on how hardworking. There was so much multi-rolling going on. I'm assuming that's still the case.
Yeah, we still have that's been turned up actually. So we have one of our actors, Ali. She plays Sebastian Crab. She plays a French chef, Colette, who I don't think was in the earlier versions of this musical. So she's based on a character from Ratatouille, which I think was a male character in the cartoon, but here she's a female French chef. And then she also plays one of the eels, one of Ursula's sidekicks, Flotsam and Jetsam, and she plays the spirit of Kirsty, the sea cucumber princess. So she's got 4 different roles. She never stops. She's basically on stage the whole time. She's amazing. And then another one of our actors, Julian, who plays Grimsby, who is the captain of the ship that Prince Eric is on. He also plays one of the eels. He plays Vanessa, who is the character that Ursula becomes when she enters the world on land. And I think he also plays Baby Triton. So it's a lot.
Yeah, it's the best kind of organized chaos that isn't chaos. That's just, yeah. I just remember laughing all the way through. I wanted to ask you as well. So I mentioned, obviously, you went to Harvard. Now, you speak many, many languages, don't you? You're fluent in Mandarin, and I think, how many other languages do you speak?
Yeah, I did. I studied French and German at Manchester Grammar. Did A-level French and German, and then I studied Spanish and Mandarin at university. Yeah, so I mean, the fluent. I've been fluent, but you do forget it.
Yeah.
You do quickly. Yeah.
But I'm thinking that you are now in the perfect position to take Unfortunate international. So I'm thinking that we could get like this big tour, get it to go around the world, and you can just like translate it into all of these different languages and help with that. Where would you, if you could do that, like where would you like to see this show going?
Wow, I think Germany would be if you did it in a different language. I think Germany would be a good place to start, because they've got a really prominent theatre scene there, and they have a lot of musical theatre, not only in English but in German, and they do translate a lot of popular musicals into German. So that would probably be a good viable place to start. Yeah.
There we go. Let's make it happen to whoever is the people that watching this and make it happen. So we've talked about this show. It's just so out there. It is so much fun. And even when I saw it a couple of years ago, it was clear already that it was developing a cult kind of audience. And it was just loved. I felt like I was coming into it late already when it was fairly new, because so many people loved it, and I know that that's only going to kind of grow. So can you just, for the people out there, let them know the kind of, like, who is this show going to appeal to and why should they come to it?
I think this show appeals to everyone. You know, even I was chatting to a good friend of mine yesterday, Ashley, who is a singer that I worked with, and he's somebody who, even though he's in his 20s, is part of a, you know, a generation after my generation, you might say. He's sort of been quite resistant to kind of the new, like, quote unquote woke culture that has you know, especially become prominent in London and you might say in the theatre scene. And he said that he was a bit skeptical about coming to our show because it was embracing a lot of these sort of new woke ideas. But he said it didn't rub him the wrong way at all. He found that he just thought it was absolutely hilarious, and that it was the tone that was set with exploring all of these kind of new 2023 ideas, 24 ideas, was just very tasteful and accessible. And so I think it appeals for absolutely anyone. I mean, above the age of 16. You know, I mean, my parents are quite conservative, and they came to our opening night and they just thought it was amazing. They thought it was brilliant and hilarious and clever, and yeah, they loved it. They came to see it the following night as well. So they so I think it's for everyone. I really do. Yeah,
I agree. I feel like it's a show that is almost on everybody's side, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's kind of there. It's showing up for everybody, and that's kind of the point of the show, that it is saying you are who you are.
Yeah, I think it pokes fun a lot of people, but it does it in a way that is inclusive, and it's not. It's so much based in comedy that it's not done to offend people at all. It's purely done to just make people laugh. So you can definitely say it has a feminist approach to it, and it often, you know, let's say straight men are often the butt of the joke, you know, but the straight men are all laughing, you know, they're laughing at that, and everybody's laughing at it, and it's done in a way that it just brings the house down. It's just this raucous celebration of all kinds of themes, of sort of modern day themes, if you like. Yeah.
All wrapped up in a glittery, sparkly musical. What more could you want? Thank you so much for chatting with us, Tom. I've been looking forward to this coming back for so long, and I cannot wait. You can catch it from the 22nd of February at the Lowry. Come along. Honestly, you will not be disappointed. It is a brilliant night of laughter. Thank you so much, and we can't wait to see you.
Oh, it's been really fun chatting with you. Thanks. Nice meeting you, Karen. Yeah, I hope I get to meet you in person soon.
That'd be lovely. Yeah, lovely. Oh, thank you, and all the best.
Okay, you too. Bye.
Bye.